Okay. Hello guys, welcome back, and we're gonna be reacting to a speed run blindfold, a speed blindfold run. Asmongold reacted to to this one before, but I've seen some clips, but I wanna see like what happened with this one. I wanna give my thoughts about it while watching the video, so let's get right into it. I believe this is the girl that sped run Alatreon in Monster Hunter. One of the top bosses. I can say the second to the last boss in Monster Hunter. Yeah, so let's get right into it.
It's like if you want to see a real investigation, claim that you did something in a video game that didn't actually happen, and you're going to get people that put more work into that than their entire time at college.
Cheating a blindfolded run is one thing, but increasing the proof standard so you can perform the run again, only to double down and cheat a second time, is one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
I've seen this one. It's amazing to me that she's playing using mouse and keyboard, because I play Monster Hunter using this one. This is a PS5 controller, and I use like an app to connect it to my laptop, and so I can run like games that require an Xbox controller. I just fixed the thingies. But man, using keyboard, I never imagined playing Monster Hunter using a mouse and keyboard. So yeah, let's see.
With increased proof standards,
So yeah, imagine that one, and you're also like blindfolded. I can't imagine the level of difficulty that you have to be, or that you have to have to be that good. Sorry.
think that faking another run would be difficult, but the method used was so obvious you'll wonder how Queen Ponzalot thought she could pull it off without getting caught. Today I'll show you how the investigation into her second run progressed and what our initial theories were before we arrived at the truth. So let's start with how we got here. Asmongold would watch Queen's first run on stream and was quite impressed with it, as he was currently stuck on Alatreon himself. I don't blame—
Dude, anyone who can solo Alatreon, I mean, fuck the blindfold itself, sorry. But anyone who can solo Alatreon is like very good, is a very good player. Very skilled player. I've played Monster Hunter for like, I don't know, 400 hours, I guess. Is it 400? I don't know, but I'm at MR 200 plus, okay? And I made my second character, so my second character is also like has also finished the story of Iceborne, but I've not yet finished the story through Guiding Lands, okay? So yeah, beating Alatreon is very difficult, guys, because there's like a limited amount of time that you have to beat him before he does his like big attack that would kill you instantly, and you can't get away from it. Okay, so that's why Asmongold is like, I think he's having a hard time, because Alatreon is a very hard boss to beat. Not only do you have to be good at dodging his attacks, but you have to be very efficient in dealing damage and breaking his horns. If you fail to break his horns, he would kill you in the next like 10 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes because of his attack. That attack is like an AoE effect for the whole map. Okay. So yeah, it's very difficult to beat this boss. And I think I've said that multiple times now.
blame Asmongold for being fooled by this, since he doesn't have experience with blindfolded runs, but looking at her Discord, it was planned to get the video in front of him. Wanting the attention of a big streamer is a double-edged sword, because while it does amplify your viewership, it also gets you in front of experts such as Juicy. And in this case, he uploaded a video of his own pointing out all of the inconsistencies with her run. Asmongold would watch this as well, and suggested that if Queen could do this again, it would clear up everything. Not one to shy away from Asmongold's attention, she created a video announcing February 14th as the date her next run would be performed, but this time she would obey stricter proof standards. Covers over 2 of her monitors, a hand cam, input display, and a community-approved blindfold would be the measures she implemented to help prove her legitimacy. This time, she was leaving no room for doubt, and even double-checked her chat to make sure she wasn't missing anything. In the lead-up to this, a legitimate blindfolded run of
Man.
Alatreon was performed by Kaye, and the huge difference you'll notice is the strats he used. In addition to using lock-on targeting instead of free cam, he chose to use the dual blades instead of a weapon like the greatsword that relies on—
Oh, he's good. I don't even know this guy. He's good. He's doing it blindfold. And look at his layered armor. He looks fine doing it, man. That's so cool.
Headshots. For Queen's second run, I fully expected the strategy she used to be actual blindfolded strats so she could claim that she could actually do a blindfolded run, but that's not what happened. In fact, what happened baffled me. Her first few attempts did not go well, and while watching, I got the feeling we weren't going to see a repeat kill and the story was going to end here. But on her 8th try, she survived through an Eschaton judgment and proceeded to kill the boss. My first impression was that the run had to be legit.
You see, that attack itself, this is the one I'm telling you guys.
Her first few attempts did not go well, and while watching, I got the feeling we weren't going
not
to
this
see
one.
a repeat kill and the story was going to end here. But on her 8th try, she
This
survived
one.
through an Eschaton judgment and proceeded.
Yeah, I don't know the name. But yeah, that attack itself. If you don't deal enough damage to Alatreon at that point, he will one-hit you. Okay? That's how bad it is.
To kill the boss. My first impression was that the run had to be legit given the proof standards, but once I had the chance to analyze it, I began to realize that it had a ton of problems. In the last video, we established that vertical camera movement with the mouse is never performed while blindfolded because you have no audio cues or other form of feedback to help you get it recentered. This was a key piece of evidence in her first run that something was amiss, and in this run, we see two things. The first is that she's using the Alt button to recenter the camera periodically, as it will have the camera go back to a neutral position. This behavior was entirely absent from the first run, however, and the head tracking was once again present and obvious. It's safe to say that blindfolded runs of Monster Hunter are tough, and if you're thinking about attempting one, maybe you should try this video's sponsor, Unicorn Overlord, instead. From the
That's one hell of an intro to an ad. I thought it was like part of the video. So
studio that brought you 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim and published by the group behind Persona, Unicorn Overlord is a brand new take on the tactical fantasy RPG.
this looks like the game that, you know, I played on the phone or even on the PS2 like years back.
With overworld exploration and an innovative battle
Yeah,
system,
definitely
Unicorn
like a game
Overlord
in the
allows you to explore a
the
vibrant
PC.
world while amassing an army with over 60 unique characters. This gives you deep options when building your army, as there are various synergies for offense and defense between the different classes. The rapport system allows you to deepen the bonds between characters, letting them give each other stat increases and narrative progression moments as rapport builds. The main
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks like a lot better than the ones I play on the PC before. I would like to play this game when I was like in, I don't know, 6th grade. First year, I guess, I don't know.
main way of increasing rapport is by having units battle together, but it can also be gained by bestowing special gifts and holding feasts. If you're like me and love the tactical RPGs of the 90s, you'll enjoy the classic 32-bit battle system with modern 2D aesthetic graphics, complete with over 40 hours of gameplay.
It looks very nice,
Overlord
yeah.
releases March 8th, but the demo is live right now, and all of your progress
Oh, this is a PS4 and PS5 game? Damn. I thought this was a mobile game. It's an art game, okay?
carries
continue.
over to the full
This
game.
is not the video.
So use my link and start
This is
building
not
your
the
army
video
right now. And
that
with
we're
that,
not reacting
let's
to.
get back to the investigation.
Yeah. And an ad for YouTube, yeah, nice.
In this clip, we see that not only does she track the dragon's head in the vertical, but she also keeps the head centered on screen as she moves under the boss, which isn't possible as there's no audio feedback for camera adjustments. In another clip, she goes from the front of the dragon to the side and rotates the camera perfectly to keep the head centered in the screen. This isn't behavior that's possible while blindfolded, and if we dive deeper, we see more of the same.
That's like having Ultra Instinct or something. Man. Yeah, I saw this one. I saw that they're debunking this, and when I heard about the head tracking, it's yeah. Even if you're using like a controller or something, you wouldn't like naturally. I would keep pressing lock on if I'm going to try a run, but I don't think I can even like survive. I don't know, a low rank monster or something. I never tried doing a speed run or. Maybe a speed run. I tried doing it, but like a blind speed run or a blind run, man, I'm not gonna try it. I'm not that good.
same old tricks. The attack where the boss swipes doesn't have an audio cue until it's already traveling towards you, but this doesn't stop her from dodging before the cue plays. Not only this, but the attack comes from the opposite direction based on where you're standing relative to Alatreon, and the dodge needs to be performed towards it or you'll be hit, but somehow...
Yeah! Man! Why? If she's faking it, then shouldn't she have known like how to... Yeah, it's her natural gaming instincts that are working.
Somehow, Queen not only manages to dodge before the audio cue, she also gets the direction right every single time. Even with 3D audio, doing this correctly with a 100% success rate shouldn't be possible, but there's another action she takes that has no audio cues, and that's how she interacts with the ledge. There are small ledges all throughout the arena, and they have a unique interaction when you roll into an attack. If you roll on a flat surface and press attack, it won't cue to start the attack when the roll is completed. This means you need to finish a roll before the game will register an attack input, but ledges break this mechanic. If you roll off a ledge, your roll gets cancelled and you can attack right away, but there aren't any audio cues you're on a ledge, as it's a completely silent piece of geometry. Despite
I can't bear the fact that she's like using all the techniques in her book while faking a speedrun or a blind speedrun. Man. She's using everything she knows. But I need to see this guy. The guy that uses like dual blades. He's good, man. Oh,
Despite this, she rolls off a ledge and attacks immediately, which doesn't make sense as an experienced player would know not to press attack this fast after a roll, but if she can see she's on a ledge, this makes perfect sense. Here's a comparison between a dodge roll into attack where she's on flat ground. You can see how much delay there is in a normal roll attack, but in the attack off the ledge, the delay is only 8 frames, almost double the time to do a normal attack compared to a ledge cancel. Given that the same gameplay oddities were observed again, we were sure that something was going on, but they weren't the only things that stood out. At different times, she lost complete control of her character and would press Windows and Escape. They aren't on the input tracker, but it's quite obvious when she does, as her thumb moves for the Windows key and her entire hand moves for Escape. I had no clue why these two keys needed to be pressed or why she was losing control of the character, but something was pulling her focus from the game. After she kills the boss is when I proof called her on the original blindfold to have it unfolded and light checked again. As I pointed out in my previous video, I knew it was transparent, and in this run, it had been folded additional times so that it would pass the light check, but all this proof call earned me was a timeout. On Carl's video, the mod that timed me out commented that I had asked the question 20 times, and for the record, I asked twice and replied to mod.
This is how you know that there's something fishy going on. It's like asking for... He asked for 2 times. And it's like... They said, yeah, you asked it for over 20 times. They got offended by you, like, asking them for proof that that they did a speedrun properly. That's so bad.
Comments about the proof call 5 times.
And I like the voice of this guy, the one that's narrating. It's like, it's entertaining, and it's like monotonous. But at the same time, it's like entertaining. I don't feel sleepy like listening to him. Sorry guys for the cough.
A total of 7 chats over 5.5 minutes, but his second comment is worth some scrutiny. Somebody asks if he's saying that the blindfold doesn't unfold, and he triples down by saying that it doesn't. If that's the case, then why not say that on stream instead of saying that the material isn't transparent and refusing the proof call? This even contradicts the mod's own statements in the stream.
And why are you like, why? If you're trying to fake a run, and people are caught, are asking for proof, okay? If you're trying to fake a run and people are asking for proof, and they didn't like find out how you're cheating, show all the proof that you can to convince them that it's real. But man, she's faking it. I mean, they're offended if you ask them the proof that she's not faking it. That's very fishy, because someone who actually did like a real, you know, fake proof or a real like blind run, yeah, they would like give you like all the proofs that they can. Yeah, they'll show you everything.
Because they said the blindfold was folded in the original run, but it being folded implies it can be unfolded, so which is it? I think that's all the analysis we need of the first blindfold, since we know it was transparent and had obviously been tampered with when the check was performed in the second stream, and I think we can all agree that this idea to triple down on it is insane.
Oh, this is a cute game. This is AFK Journey? This is not AFK Journey, come on. This is way too cute to be AFK Journey. People who watch me watch this might clown on me if I told them I can play this game. I can. It's a cutesy fighting game. Maybe I won't play it for a long time, but yeah, it looks cute.
Yeah.
Oh, and it has mechanics, man. It's good. It's cute.
AFK Journey.
It's
Download
cute.
now.
Given that the run had many of the same issues as the first and had new problems to look into, I knew that this investigation would require a team as competent as Sherlock Holmes and John Watson, so I called in a friend. Carl and I tackled the investigation together along with some Monster Hunter and Blindfold Speedrun experts. When we began, we asked ourselves if it could be legit and decided that given the head tracking and dodging attacks before the sound cues, that it most certainly wasn't, which left the question.
Yeah, just the fact that you dodge before the sound cues, or like dodging with the sound cues, but like dodging it perfectly, 100%, that would be like almost impossible, man. I mean, I understand that like you're a pro and you know you've killed this monster like, I don't know, 4,611 times. Yeah, okay, I understand you're a pro, but doing it blindfold without the cues, it's like you can predict Alatreon's attack while blindfolded. Man.
How was it done? A common theory I saw commented was that she was playing over a pre-recorded video. This has been done before, as Lee SDA did this with a Yoshi's Island run, and Mechar did this at GDQ of all places with a Metal Gear Rising run. But this isn't a good method of cheating, and we could rule it out instantly. Since she was using an input display and hand cam, we could see—
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like she has an input display, so we can see exactly if she's like pressing. Because I believe memorizing the input display or having a delay in the input display is like much worse. You know, you can easily catch her there. So yeah, I don't think that she would use that one for cheating.
that the inputs observed matched what was happening on screen, so playing over a pre-recorded run was easily ruled out. Another theory we thought might be possible was that someone else was playing off screen, but we crossed this out for the same reasons. The observed inputs matched the gameplay, so an off-screen player wasn't how this was done either.
Damn. Look at that dodge, man. Nothing hit her.
What might be possible was that someone else was playing off-screen, but we crossed this out for the same reasons. The observed inputs matched the gameplay, so an off-screen player wasn't how this was done either. With two easy-to-perform methods of cheating out the window, we started thinking up more complex and esoteric explanations. Carl suggested that she could be using an aimbot or aim assist, and I thought that someone else might be playing through Remote Assistant. The reason we thought this was because of the head tracking and vertical camera movement, which we know is impossible while blindfolded, so we started testing these theories. For aimbot, there wasn't anything we could do at the moment, so Carl got in touch with a modder for Monster Hunter that had created one. The way it works is by hooking into the game's memory. From there, you can tell it what object you want it to look at. In this case, it's the different bones that make up the dragon's rig. It's
Damn. I didn't even know that this one exists. There's an aimbot for Monster Hunter. That is so cool, man. That's very effective if you're using like a bowgun, a light bowgun, or a heavy bowgun. Man, even the sniper one, the sniper attachment for the bowgun, that would be so awesome, man. You would destroy parts instantly. That's so awesome.
turned on and off from the press of a button, so you can activate it as needed to quickly line up a shot and then turn it off before anyone suspects anything. But it's quite obvious if you turn it on from a greater distance, as it completely overrides your inputs and makes a beeline for whatever it's targeting. Another reason aimbot—
Yeah. So you have to be close enough to the monster, almost aiming at it before you press it. That's how you use it properly. But in this run, it's different because it tracks differently. And it's not at the center every time.
was suggested was because at certain times when her mouse was moving in one direction, we noticed that the input tracker would freak out and register inputs across multiple axes, and we had no way of explaining this other than an external force acting on the mouse. Aimbot was a good theory and would explain how she was able to track the head while blindfolded, but while Carl was investigating it, I was looking into Remote Assistant. Remote Assistance is a feature for Windows that allows someone else to control your PC at the same time as you, giving them access to your mouse and keyboard. I thought this was a plausible theory because it would...
Yeah, it is possible, but the delays would make it suck as hell. Yeah, it would be very bad. Especially for a boss like Alatreon. Alatreon would decimate you if you have like even 1 or 2 seconds delayed. Even 1 second delayed, yeah, he's gonna decimate you, man.
Would explain the head tracking and glitchy mouse inputs, as I theorized the person using it would only try to move the camera while she was moving it. So what happened when we tested it? It wasn't a perfect test due to an ocean being between me and Juicy, but even with the giant amount of lag, we found that the input tracker perfectly tracked everything I tried to do. But it also had an additional problem. The second I made an adjustment, Juicy lost all ability to play the game competently. It was a constant battle for control that didn't end well, and doing it blindfolded would have made it impossible. Remote Assist and Aimbot are technical explanations, and part of the reason we decided to go down this route was because of the Windows and Escape key presses. Multiple times in the attempt, she lost control of her character and remained stationary despite the tracker registering inputs, with control only being restored after pressing Windows and Escape.
And how does she know that something's happening? Is there like an audio cue or something? Couldn't you hear that on stream? Because for example, now, for the people watching, this is my OBS. You can hear everything I'm hearing from my computer. Computer audio is right here. So everything that's up here, up this bar, let me just show you guys. It pops up there. So everything that you hear in my PC can be heard. Everything I hear from my PC can be heard on stream. Okay. So how does she know that she has to press those things? That there's like a problem with her controls? Maybe no, there's no vibration because it's a keyboard. I don't know if there's like a special input for keyboards to feel vibrations, because I know that my controller would not be connected if the game stopped vibrating, because every, like, I don't know, almost every attack, almost every roar, it vibrates. It reacts to the game. So how would she know that her character stopped moving? From audio cue? Like from audio cue that it stopped running or something, that then she has to press something to like bring back the controls? I don't know. So yeah, I think it's an audio cue or something. Like, oh shit, I stopped. Or something. I don't know.
Theorized this was due to software she was using to help track the head, either Aimbot pulling her out of the game or the person on remote assistance doing something that caused the game to lose focus. But it turns out, this was only a red herring. If you look earlier in the stream, she pressed Windows to fix her eye tracker, and during the run, the eye tracker was also the reason she had to press Windows and Escape. That's right. A random tech issue put us down a rabbit hole and threw us off the trail. We knew for certain that it wasn't remote assistance at this point, which left Aimbot as the best theory since it explained the head tracking and glitchy mouse inputs on the tracker. But one thing we learned about the input display by using it ourselves is that it doesn't work well with Monster Hunter, and the glitchy inputs happen when you use it normally with the game. This left us at sea without a rudder, as every theory we had wasn't panning out. But while on a call with some Monster Hunter experts, they kept repeating to me that everything they saw made sense if she could see. Aimbot explained the head tracking, but not the dodges or the ledge attack, and the players kept reiterating that she must be able to see, so I wrote the theory out. Luckily for us,
Yeah, I've seen a part of this video because of Asmongold. She was like, how can she see in this one? And I think it's gonna be explained here. Let's check.
Blindfolded Speedrun expert Bubzia replied that it's easy to see out the bottom of a blindfold and to do so undetected. He even created a video demonstrating how much of a field of view he had if he wore the blindfold so that the bottom had a small gap. And he could even see part of the monitor on his desk, so having a screen off camera that you can see is entirely possible. While exploring this theory, one thing
Dude, yeah, I can... Even as small as a phone, man. Even as small as a phone. I can play Monster Hunter on my phone. If I, like, had the controls with me, and if, like, I have a gap on my blindfold. Yeah. It'll be hella difficult, though. I'm trying to see. Okay, I'm looking at chat right now. I'm looking at my phone. So this is the phone I'm using. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay. So that's the phone I'm using. So yeah, I can see like I can see the full screen right now. But it's very difficult. Like my nose is like blocking part of the view. But at a certain angle, I can see like maybe 95% of the screen. Yeah, at a certain angle. If you put your head down like this, you wouldn't see a thing. But if you put another like phone here at the bottom, you can still cheat, man. Damn. If it's like right here, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
The thing I noticed was this instance where she looked at her keyboard before pressing
I mean,
the escape button.
I know that the way she cheated is like through a third monitor or something. But man, I can place the phone on my lap. Man, I can hide like blind runs. I wouldn't do it though because it's a waste of time. You can trick people into believing you're skilled and good. But once you get found out like this lady, yeah, you're gonna have a big backlash on your hands and you'll hate the thing that you love doing.
If she could see out the bottom, this made complete sense, as your field of view would be smaller, so you'd need to do pronounced head movements to see anything you were looking at. Another thing Bubsia mentioned was that it's a giveaway someone can see out the bottom of the blindfold if they are sitting with their head held high, so I compared her posture from the first run to this one, and it's a very pronounced change. In the last video, her head is angled down at the monitor the game is playing on, which we know she can see since the blindfold is transparent, but in this video, her head is angled up very high, a huge difference in posture. It was past midnight when I started connecting the dots, so I went to bed, but while I was asleep, Carl the Absolute Legend would find the evidence we needed, because there was a third monitor, and we can prove it. How do you
Yeah, this was the video that she
would find
read the
evidence
chat
we
on the
needed,
third
because there was
monitor.
a third monitor, and we can
Look on the top side of the screen. Okay, I'm gonna use my mouse. On the top side of the screen, you can see that she's looking on this area. Okay, if you transfer that here, okay, she's looking here. This is her. This is her right here. This her head should be right here. She's looking here. She's reading the chat. That's very obvious there.
prove it. How do you prove the existence of something you can't see? Thankfully, we have two major pieces of evidence that prove without a doubt there's another monitor off screen. In this clip, the screen covers are lowered, but she decides there's something super important she has to do. If you look at the input display, she left clicks for almost 10 seconds. We had no idea what she was doing when we first watched this, but Carl figured it out. The only reason you'd perform a long click is if you're grabbing a window to drag it, and if you look at her mouse hand, you see that it doesn't move to the left where the other monitor is. It moves to the right, indicating another monitor off screen. But what is she dragging? If you go back a bit earlier, you see that she has
dragging?
OBS on the gameplay monitor and it has a chat window docked to the right side of it. And since the left monitor is covered, the OBS window is the only spot she can read chat from. The next time we see the middle monitor after the long left click, the OBS window is gone, meaning OBS with chat is what she dragged to the right. If you're going to be doing a blindfolded attempt, there's no reason that you'd need to read chat from a hidden monitor, as it would be a major giveaway if you ever got caught.
You know what Asmongold said when he was asked like what to do with this information? It's like, how can we prove to you that you didn't cheat it by, you know, using like multiple monitors? And Asmongold just said, just turn off all the monitors. It doesn't mess with anything. And Asmongold is like, I know it doesn't mess with anything because I use the same system. So why didn't you just turn off all the monitors? It's like, no, how about the third monitor? We don't have a third monitor. Then where was she reading the chat from?
The only reason you do this is because you want to see what people are saying, and there's no way she'd make the mistake of reading chat with her monitors covered, right?
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
With both monitors covered and while looking to the right, she responds to a message in chat, and after this, she pretends to have read it from the left monitor where the pop-out chat was located in an attempt to cover. You can
Oh my gosh. It's very, without this mistake, it would have been a little bit difficult to prove that she had a third monitor.
tell she knows she made a mistake as well, since she starts answering the question she read off the right monitor, then stops and lets out a giant sigh.
That's so bad. Damn.
She then makes a point of going to the left monitor and reading the message out loud, but we now know the message was read from an off.
And she tries to convince people, no, I read it from this monitor. Damn.
Screen monitor. If this isn't convincing enough, look at what happens after the kill. Even with the covers removed, she looks to the hidden right monitor when she gets a gift sub alert. It's like she's forgot she just faked a run and doesn't even try to hide the fact that there's a monitor off screen. She gets a raid at one point and acknowledges it while looking at the right screen that doesn't exist before replying to more messages from the monitor that clearly isn't there. In the chat, a viewer even points out her posture and a mod immediately covers for her by saying they do posture checks all the time. This might be true, but then why is this the only video where she's sitting straight up with her head cranked in the air? She goes on to claim that both runs are real and that since Asmongold wanted another run, that's what he gets.
But Asmongold wanted another run. He said, I hope she comes back, I hope she does it again, and says that I did do it the first time, now here's me doing it again. And that's exactly what we
So that's why they asked Asmongold for the third time. That's why they're trying to ask him, like, because Asmongold was convinced that she did it successfully without cheating.
It's hard to believe that this anime arc all started from a clout chase for someone else's attention. To recap the evidence, while blindfolded, it's very easy to see out the bottom, and keeping your head tilted up would let you play off of a hidden monitor. In this attempt, she's angled to the right.
Even if you tilt your head down, if you place like a phone on your lap, and the phone isn't seen in the camera, you can still cheat the run itself. Yeah, for example, this phone, my phone that I'm using, even if I cover my eyes, guys, like this one, I can still see it. Even if I close my eyes like this one. I mean, does my eyes look closed? It should look closed. But yeah, I can still see my whole phone right here at the bottom. It's like you're staring at the bottom. Even if you tilt your head down like this, you can do it like this. Okay? I can still see my whole phone. It's very easy to cheat. I think the best bet is like to face a wall. Or like wear like a full face mask or something. I don't know. I really don't know.
Right where the hidden monitor is and holds her head incredibly high compared to the last run where her head is angled down towards the gameplay monitor. There is a hidden screen to the right which can be verified as she moves OBS to this monitor, which is confirmed by the input viewer and hand cam.
No, the third screen is verified because of the chat that she's reading on the third screen. Okay? You don't need to use the drag mouse and the dragging of the gameplay to the left, to the right side screen. No, you don't need that one. She's literally reading chat right here on the third screen.
And even reach chat from it while looking right with both.
That's so obvious.
Both monitors covered, as well as reading from it after the run itself. This makes for an open and shut case, as it's obvious a third monitor is involved, and that's what she's playing off of, as it explains the head tracking and dodging perfectly. But the story doesn't end here. She uploaded a video of the second run and responds to some of the claims Juicy made in his analysis video that started this entire arc, and one of the first things she disputes is how she dodged without audio cues. She only mentions the double head swipe, however, which does have an audio cue where Alatreon taps his feet before doing the attack. This wasn't mentioned in my video, however, as I focused on the claw swipes, and she conveniently left out how she dodged that attack before the audio cue. And what she says next is incredible.
Then, because it's silent, I don't see it charging up, and even as a master of this hunt, I still get hit by it. Or is it that I'm just acting?
I think we know the answer to that now, but to address the point, it wouldn't make sense to dodge everything in a fake blindfolded run. Otherwise, people with no knowledge of how they work, like Asmongold, might have picked up on it right away. She even addresses the vertical camera movement.
Another main criticism of my blindfolded run is the fact that I adjust my camera to fight the monster without using lock-on. This is just how I fight it. All the time. Every time. just
That's how you fight it all the time, every time. When you can see the monster. What's the point of your camera if you're attacked won't matter regardless of the verticality of your camera? Is it muscle memory or something? You're just that good? I don't know. It's just like, it seems so sketchy because if you watch the video where Asmongold talked to his like moderator or manager, I guess, they are like blatantly repeating that she doesn't have a third monitor and there was no third monitor, even though it's very blatantly clear that she's reading chat off the third monitor. Yeah.
because I put a blindfold on doesn't mean that that changes.
What's funny about this is she offers no explanation as to how she knows exactly how much to adjust the camera in the vertical, so I guess we'll just have to settle for the "trust me bro." It's hard to believe that this was all started from someone trying to get a streamer's attention, and Asmongold, if you're watching, I did put more effort into this video than I did at college. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.
I put more effort in this video than at college. I'm gonna like this one. It's funny. So yeah, so that's one video for you guys. Wait, let me just go back here. Okay, so thank you guys for watching that one. If you're watching on YouTube, so what do you guys think? Did she do it like well, or was the third screen like a dead giveaway? It's like lying about the third screen just loses all your trust in her that she faked the whole thing. You know, I hope there's like someone skilled enough to use the great sword in a blind run, but I don't think so. Yeah, it's very difficult to use the great sword in the blind run. So yeah, leave a like and a comment below, or at least a comment below if you want to discuss it, and I'll watch more videos and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.